So what's all the hype about Mason, Ohio? Some people are calling it the best place to live in the state of Ohio.
That's a bold statement.
Let me say this. Anyone who says that has a very strong argument. Mason has a lot to offer to its residents, and we're going to cover it all in this video. Everything you might want to know about Mason, Ohio. So if you're curious about Mason or looking to make a move to Mason, Ohio soon, you don't want to miss this. We're getting into it right now. What's up, it's Victor Pham. I'm a realtor in the Cincinnati metro area. If you want to know what it's like to live, work, eat, play, and chill in Cincinnati, in the Cincinnati suburbs, then make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you don't miss any new videos when they come out. I'm helping people all the time buy and sell real estate in Cincinnati, in the Cincinnati suburbs. So feel free to hit me up if you're thinking about buying or selling a house in the Cincinnati metro area. I'm sure I can help you too. And remember, when it comes to houses in Cincinnati, you can always call Vic. So this is actually part 3 of a series I'm doing on Cincinnati suburbs. I've linked the other 2 in the description below if you're curious about those. But Mason, Ohio, that's what you came here to see. Let's talk about it. Okay, so the geography of Mason, that's probably a good place to start. Mason is located in Warren County, which is one county over from Cincinnati. Here's Cincinnati right here down in Hamilton County, and here's Mason up here in Warren County. So it's directly northeast of Cincinnati, really a straight shot right up I-75, roughly 24 miles from Cincinnati. So not too far out of the city limits if you're commuting to the city for work or fun or whatever reasons you might need to be in the city. The population is right around 34,000, and Mason is going to cover a 19 square mile area. As far as the walkability of Mason, the city does have quite a few miles of non-vehicle trails, about 16 miles of trails actually, where you can enjoy some non-motorized vehicle traffic, mainly in the parks and the inner suburbs. But outside of that, it's a pretty car-dependent town once you're out of the residential areas and the organized parks and walking areas.
I just felt like running.
So another one of those sparse and kind of scattered suburbs. A lot of areas are spaced out, so probably nice to have a car to get to where you need to go. But I think that's a plus if you like space. I get so many buyers that are like, I don't want to be too close to people, Vic. I need some space between me and my neighbors. I don't want a bunch of neighbors, and I completely understand that. Everybody needs their privacy.
I need space. That's it.
And you can get that in a lot of areas of Mason. You might get a little more walkability in the downtown areas or shopping zones, but mostly it's going to be a lot of vehicle traffic. How about a little bit on the history of Westchester? How did this place come to be? Well, back in 1803, a Revolutionary War veteran named William Mason purchased 640 acres of land in the area that is now downtown Mason today. And he named that land Palmyra. That's actually kind of cool sounding, Palmyra. Sounds kind of tropical, not really Ohio-ish. Flash forward after his death, many more plots of land were added to the original land, and the officials changed the name to Mason. I'm guessing after William Mason. Only seems right. I mean, he did found the city with his own money. In 1970, the population of Mason was only about 5,700. So if you compare that to the population of today's 34,000 people, that's an 83% increase in population in 50 years. That's some serious growth there. As far as the cost of living in Mason, what does it cost to live here? Well, the median household income is about $105,000. That's household, not individual income. That's about 40% higher than the national average of $67,000. So median home price is going to be about $314,000, significantly higher than the national average of $230,000. Median rent is roughly $1,400 a month. Also higher than the national average. So Mason is definitely on the higher end of the spectrum on the cost of living. Definitely the type of place you don't want to move to if your income isn't stable. It is pricier than a lot of the suburbs around Cincinnati. Definitely more expensive than being close to the inner city. At the time of me making this video, the cheapest home on the market in Mason is $288,000. That's about a 1,600 square foot home with 3 beds and 2 baths. The most expensive home on the market, $1.4 million, and that one is 5 beds, 5 bathrooms, and over 6,000 square feet. So your cost per square foot in Mason can range anywhere from $150 a square foot to $300 a square foot or more for the more luxurious homes. Really depends on your price range and taste. But if you find something pop up in Mason for under 300K, that's usually a rare find. And it'll probably be one of those smaller homes in Mason. There's some really beautiful subdivisions in Mason. You got the Crooked Tree Preserve, a gated community with a lot of newer model homes back there, built by different builders. There's Ambleside Meadows, a lot of development in that subdivision recently as well. Willowbrook, there's Kenningson subdivision also. So if you really want that suburban experience, nice and safe, gated communities, really great place to raise family, then Mason might be it. Mason is also considered to be the best place to live in all of Warren County. And a pretty low crime rate, not gonna get too much happening as far as crime in Mason either. Another thing that really keeps Mason thriving, which is something I don't think a lot of people talk about, is the ton of small businesses that they have. The city reports that they have over 500 businesses in Mason. A lot of small businesses that the community relies on, so there's a lot of money being spent in the community. And that's a big deal because that's one of the things that really keeps the community going, is the money being circulated within the town. It helps give the area a lot of long-term stability economically. Now, Mason is a constituent of Cincinnati, so when it comes to everyday costs, they're gonna be pretty similar to the costs that Cincinnati has. Gas prices in Mason right now are gonna be right around $3.70, which is a little lower than Cincinnati, which is down here in Hamilton County at about $3.90. So obviously gas prices are very unpredictable. They can really fluctuate depending on what gas station you're going to and what area. Food prices have been going nuts for everybody, really no matter where you are, but it's gonna be pretty similar to Cincy as well. Getting pretty insane for a lot of people, but still, in my opinion, lower than a lot of the major cities in the country. Okay, so what about the education in Mason? We gotta talk about the schools. That's a big topic when you're grading a city or town. Gotta make sure those little kids get their education. Little kids. Okay, so out of all of Warren County, Mason City Schools, the district that serves Mason residents, is considered the best school district in the entire county. Pretty exceptional all across the board, as you can see here on niche.com. Also considered one of the best districts in Ohio for athletes if you have kids who are into sports. So when you have a city that ranks that high in education, that's a pretty big deal with buyers and people wanting to move to that area. I mean, school districts really determine a lot of things in the community. Better schools typically mean less crime and higher property values, and therefore higher demand to live in that area. All right, so what about things to do in Mason? What is there to get into living in Mason, Ohio? Well, first and foremost, you cannot talk about things to do in Mason without mentioning Kings Island. That'd be like talking about having
Kool-Aid, no sugar.
Or
Peanut butter, no jelly. Ham, no burger.
just wouldn't be right. Located right off 75, Kings Island has always been in the talks as one of the top theme parks in the country. Anybody who has lived in the tri-state area, whether it's Northern Kentucky, Southeast Indiana, or Ohio, has most likely been to Kings Island at least one time in their life. I've been going there since I was a kid. They have some really intense and premier roller coasters if you're into big thrills. I think they have like 15 roller coasters and over 100 attractions, including a little mini theme park for kids. Also Soak City, which is an outdoor water park. A lot of fun on those hot summer days. Right next door to Kings Island is Great Wolf Lodge, which has an indoor water park. And they have these really cool cabin themed lodges. I threw a birthday party for my daughter there years back. They had a blast. If you're a food connoisseur like me, there's definitely some dining options for you, especially up there around the Deerfield Town Center, which runs off the Mason-Montgomery Road. Plenty of options there. If you want a nice dining experience, you can check out Firebirds Wood Fire Grill for some good steaks and some seafood and some nice drinks. You can do Maplewood Kitchen if you're a breakfast person. Really popular stop for breakfast. Many other options if you want something quick as well. So if you like quick takeout or dine in, there's plenty of those to choose from too. If you're a tennis fan, you might want to check out Linder Family Tennis Center. This place is a pretty big deal, especially in the summer when they host the Western and Southern Opens for the professional tennis tournaments. It's a big spectacle. People will come from all over the world to come to Mason and watch these tennis matches. Even if you don't care for tennis, it's still a pretty cool event. There's Grizzly Golf Social Lounge if you're into golf. It's a public course with an 18-hole course and a pro shop. There's pretty much all the shopping you need. Gyms, professional services, you name it. You really don't have to go too far outside of Mason to get to what you need to get into. Oh, and I can't forget the parks. There's a pretty big cluster of parks to choose from. This is such a great thing about living in the Cincinnati area. We really take parks seriously. You got a lot of them to choose from in Mason as well. Like I mentioned, they have designated a lot of the park space for walking trails and non-motorized vehicles. So these are good places to get away from that vehicle traffic and just go for a stroll or pop out the bike and hit one of the trails. It's good sometimes to just get away from all that traffic, get some fresh air and a little bit of exercise.
I just felt like running.
So what kind of a rating would I give Mason on a scale of 1 to 10? I'm probably going to give Mason a 9.5. It's a pretty exceptional place. Hard to say anything bad about Mason, and it's in very, very high demand place to live. I really hope this helps you if you're thinking about making a move to Mason, Ohio. If you need help buying or selling in the Cincy area or in the Cincy suburbs, feel free to reach out to me anytime. I'm sure I can help you with that. If you enjoyed the content, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss anything new about what's happening here in Cincy. And remember, when it comes to houses in Cincinnati, you can always call Vic.